Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to make a simple antenna using basic materials. Here, I have a signal cable. I use a ruler to measure a suitable length of about 20 centimeters, then mark the cutting point with a pen. Next, I use pliers to cut the cable at the marked position, getting it ready for the next steps. In the next step, I use a utility knife to carefully cut along the outer insulation of the cable. I do this gently to avoid damaging the inner wires. Then, I peel back the insulation to expose the copper cores of the two signal wires. This prepares the conductors for the next connection steps. Next, I use a screw-on connector to attach it to the end of the cable. I cut off the excess copper wire to make the tip cleaner and easier to work with. Then, I use a ruler to measure and mark about 3 centimeters on the cable. After that, I use a utility knife to strip the insulation at the marked point, exposing the inner core. I do this carefully to avoid damaging the wire. Once stripped, I have a fairly long copper core, which I will use as the antenna receiving element. This is a two-way TV signal splitter, which divides one input signal into two separate outputs, allowing multiple devices to connect while maintaining stable signal quality. Finally, I connect the cable to the TV signal splitter, completing the setup and preparing for testing. Next, I use a pen to mark the copper core, preparing it for soldering. Then, I use a soldering iron to apply solder to the contact points on the copper wire, improving conductivity and making the structure more secure. After soldering, I gently bend the two copper cores apart to create some spacing, which helps improve signal reception. Then, I take a thin piece of copper wire and wrap it around a pin. By wrapping it evenly, the wire forms a spring-like shape with consistent coils. After removing it from the pin, I now have a neat copper spring. I cut this spring into shorter segments and attach them to the two copper cores of the antenna. This step increases the surface area and helps improve the antenna's signal reception performance. After soldering the three spring pieces, I can see that the joints are firmly attached to the copper cores. The springs are evenly positioned, not loose or misaligned, forming a clean and solid structure. Next, I finalize the signal cable that connects the antenna to the TV. I wrap electrical tape around the connection near the jack to secure it, provide insulation, and prevent it from loosening during use. With that, the antenna is complete. Now I'll test it in real conditions to see how well it receives signals. Now, I will try switching between channels on the TV to see if it can receive any signal without an antenna. As you can see, without an antenna connected, the TV cannot receive any signal at all. The screen shows a no signal message, which means the TV isn't picking up any broadcast channels. This serves as the initial test before trying the DIY antenna. Next, I connect the antenna to the back of the TV to see if it works. As soon as I turn the TV on, the channels are detected almost immediately. To confirm the result, I remove the antenna and then reconnect it again. When I unplug the antenna, the TV instantly loses the signal. And when I plug it back in, the channels appear normally again. This clearly shows that my DIY antenna works very well. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to leave a like to support the channel. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next videos.